Here we go. This is episode 3 of the Outer Chambers. I'm so glad you could join us again today. My name is Brother Quentin A. Brooker, Esquire. 6, Spring 98, Mighty OE. Currently active in the Rho Beta chapter of Houston, Texas. What's going on to all the bros? What's up, bros? Greetings. Right here from the Outer Chambers. Come on in and join us. Right now we have a few in the chambers. Come on in and hear what we got to talk about today on episode 3 of the Outer Chambers. I appreciate you being here right now. We have 3 in the chambers. Today we have an excellent show for you to digest right here in the Outer Chambers. I'm going to say greetings first. Greetings to all of the brothers in the mighty Omega Psi Phi Fraternity Incorporated. Greetings to all the bros throughout the world. Greetings to the brothers in the 1st District, in the 2nd District, and in the 3rd District. Greetings to all of the brothers in the 4th District, and the 5th District, and the 6th District. And greetings to the district where I was initiated, the mighty 7th District. Greetings to all the bros. Greetings to all the good bros in the 8th District. And of course, greetings to all of the brothers in the mighty 9th District. Greetings to all of the brothers in the 10th District and the 12th District and our international district, the 13th. Again, we bring you greetings and we thank you for joining us for another episode of the Outer Chambers. I also want to give greetings to all of the Greeks in the National Pan-Hellenic Council. Come on in. All of the fratres and sorors all throughout the world. You are welcome in the chambers as well. Again, my name is Brother Quentin A. Brooker, Esquire, and this show is a show by the bros and for the bros. However, we want to invite you to participate. Listen, if you have any questions, drop them in the chat. I'll try my best to answer them. But today, the topic, a very, very good topic, friendship full circle. And I have an outstanding guest for you today. I'm going to bring him in to the chamber right now. And here he is. Here he is. This is my friend, Brother Lee Rideout. He is the immediate past district keeper of finance in the 2nd District.
Yes, sir.
He is a good friend. He's way back. And Brother Rideout, greetings to you, man.
Man, greetings. Brother Booker, it's good to see you, bro. Good to see you, man.
Man, you're looking sharp as usual. Nothing was expected.
They say stay ready so you don't have to get ready, baby. That's what they say.
All day. And you definitely stay ready, my brother. Listen, everybody, this is a brother that you'll hear in the next few minutes. You'll hear about our friendship, and you'll see why it's important to have this brother on this show today. Brother Rideout, man, this show, as you know, is a show for the bros, by the bros. However, we invite other people. We invite people that aren't initiated in Greek letter organizations. We invite all of the fratres and sorors of the National Pan-Hellenic Council. And of course, we invite all of the brothers from all over the fraternity, man. So I really appreciate you being here today. We got to chop it up about. You have some things on your plate that I want to get into.
Yes, sir.
Before we get into that, Brother Rideout, man, tell us who you are, man. Who are you?
Listen, man. So I'm Brother Rideout, man. Hey, I was initiated into our beautiful organization in the spring of 1999 I'm a 90s bro, baby. Just made it. Beta Gamma chapter, Cheney University, man. First HBCU in the whole wide world. Don't let nobody tell you different. Don't let nobody tell you different.
Oh my goodness. Okay. Well, that's definitely something to be proud of. The
Yes,
great
sir.
university, located in the state where I'm from.
Yes,
in
sir.
the state of Pennsylvania, located in our second district. And
Yes,
I
sir.
definitely want to talk about that experience because growing up, Cheney was certainly the first HBCU that I had ever heard of. And so we definitely want to share with you about your experiences as well. But right now, Brother Rideout, we got 9 in the chamber with us right now. We need you, whoever you are, pound on the like button and pound down on the share button.
Yes, yes,
Invite
yes.
your brothers from all over. Invite your friends. Invite your family. Come on into our conversation.
Come on in, bros.
These
Come
mighty
on in.
men of Omega Psi. Yeah, man. Well, let's chop it up, man. Let's do what we do.
Hey,
let's do what we
that's
do.
what we do.
All
that's
right,
what we do, man.
Again,
That's what we do.
Hey, that's what we do. I'm very excited to have this brother here today. Certainly, this is it's time for work. You know, another premise of this show is to get the insight of the brothers as to how we can deal with the issues that affect Black society. Critical, and I believe our role, not just as Qs, although I believe we should be in the forefront, but our roles as leaders in the community. It's time. It's calling on us. It begs us to step up to the front, Brother Rideout. What do you think?
Absolutely, man. I tell you what, man. I'll take it back. You know, growing up. So I'm from North Philadelphia, as you are too.
That's correct.
We come from the same neighborhood, man. I tell you what, man. As I look back over my life, I say, wow.
Yeah.
First, I give honor and glory to God and say, wow, look where I'm at today, man. But, you know, teaching our young African-American males, man, you know, how to carry themselves, you know, because I think the number one thing, QB, I think is exposure, man. I've gotten to where I am today because somebody pulled my coattail and they exposed me. You know, kids in the inner city, man, you know, it's nothing wrong with the inner city. We're products of the inner city, right?
Correct.
But, man, when somebody takes you out of the city and lets you see something different, man, there's like a shift, man. Your mind changes. You know what I'm saying? And then you just take off from there. And I was very blessed. I had a brother, man, pull me up, said, hey, let's go take a look. Let's go take a ride. And, man, we took this ride when I was real small. We took this ride, man. And it wasn't, listen, at that time, living in North Philly, listen, it was only up Chestnut Hill. I know you know the area. All we did was ride from North Philadelphia to Chestnut Hill, and it changed my life, man. Changed my life.
Different, man. I mean, I can certainly relate to that. My mom and I, we would catch the train, you know, like the regional, and we would go different places and see some things that, like you said, we could not be exposed to where we're from. So I agree that exposure is key, man. I want to talk a little bit about your upbringing, Brother Rideout.
Yeah.
You know, you shared with me, you know, where you're from North Philadelphia, same place that I'm from. And certainly that had a huge impact on who we are today as men. Share a little bit with all of those that's in the chamber right now and with me, a little bit about your upbringing.
Yeah, man. So again, we have so much of a similar background. You know, I was brought up by a single mom, you know, in North Philadelphia. My mom struggled when we was coming up, man. And my mom moved us out to the suburbs and took us out. And that's where I got the exposure, right? Took us out, man. We got to see a different, totally different society, you know, being brought up in the suburbs, going to the suburban schools after being in the inner city schools, things like that. And inner city schools are great, man. But, you know, my mom is my rock, man. She brought me through. She exposed me to things that I thought I would never see, you know, and as I climbed that pinnacle, man, I lived right around the corner from Temple University. Temple University, man, great institution. I tell you what, the reason I picked Cheney University is 2 reasons. One, when it came to college, I was like, where am I going to go? I didn't want to go away from home too far. Temple was right there. That was always option A, but it was just too close. And my mom said, man, if you stay here in the city, you might get into something that you can't come back from.
Yeah.
So I was exposed to Cheney University. I took a ride out to Cheney University one time, and it's out in the sticks. I got out there. I said, "What? You want me to go to school out here? Ain't nothing out here." My mom said, "Yeah, that's why you got to go here, because nothing out here." So man, that's why I chose Cheney, and Cheney saved my life, man.
I definitely want to talk a little bit about the great Cheney University. Certainly, I have many friends that are graduates. I even have a nephew that attended Cheney University.
Mm-hmm.
I can't even imagine how many people that are from Philadelphia that actually had the opportunity to go, and how life-changing that university must have been for many Philadelphians, and of course, it's Blacks in general. You said something a little earlier, though, Brother Rideout. You said, now I want to make sure we nail down on this. Yeah. You said that Cheney is the first HBCU. Man, I understand that there might be some people from another university that disagree with you. Man, tell us about the Lincoln and Cheney dispute over who's first. Tell us about that.
Listen, there is no debate, right? There's no debate. Brother Booker, here it goes. You and I mean, math, right? Easy math, right? You look up Cheney University. Cheney was founded in 1837. Okay? Lincoln University was founded in 1854. The numbers is just right there. I mean, there is no argument. Now, you'll hear those who attended Lincoln University says Lincoln University is the first HBCU that granted degrees. Okay. Oh, what does that mean, though?
Okay.
Lincoln University, when it was founded as a private institution. Yeah. It wasn't public. We couldn't go there.
Wow.
So, Cheney gave people that look like you and I the opportunity, man.
Right.
So 1837, we're number one.
Right.
Point blank. Okay. Point blank.
I mean, it sounds pretty simple.
Hey, it's real simple.
Just understand when it was established. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So no need to bear down on that point, man. I can only tell you that, again, my experiences at your university were fun, good time, had great people there. And again, I just believe that university was extremely important to helping people to progress educationally, academically, professionally. And really, when you talk about the HBCU experience spiritually, like it meant something. Can you talk a little bit about that, man? How that HBCU experience, how that affected you and your growth from going from boyhood to manhood, how it affected you spiritually? Talk to us a little bit about that.
Man, when I look at, Cheney and being the first HBCU period, and all HBCUs around the country, right? I didn't really understand the dynamic of what that meant until you went to a PWI and you seen a different dynamic, right? And then when you came back to your HBCU institution, it was like, wow, look at this. These are all the people that look like me. I mean, of course, we have African Americans that go to PWIs and all that, but the whole experience, Cheney University is like a family, man. It was small knit. These are people that you grew up with, that you went to high school with, that you went to grade school with. These are the same people that matriculated to college with you, to Cheney University. That meant so much, man, because it gave you that sense of closeness, that sense of, not being scared. How sometimes when you go away to college, man, nowadays, kids, they better than we were, because they step out there. A kid to say, hey, he's from Philadelphia, but he's leaving Philadelphia and he'll go to school in Alaska. That wasn't us. Right. That wasn't us. We had that inner city in us. We didn't want to, go too far away from the nest. And Cheney afforded me that opportunity to be like, yo, I'm far away from the city, that you still get back to the city, but hey, you out here on your own. So, man, I think, from an HBCU standpoint, man, we need to continue to pour back into our HBCUs, man, at a heavy dosage. You understand what I'm saying? My sister, she went to Delaware State University.
Okay.
And she was exposed and went to an HBCU because I went to an HBCU. So I had that influence over her, and she didn't go to Cheney, but that's fine. She got that HBCU experience. That experience alone, man, is just it's mind blowing. It's mind blowing.
You are with Brother Lee Rideout and Brother Quentin A. Brooker, Esquire, in the chambers. And we, again, are inviting all of the brothers and all of your friends, man. Come on into the chambers. Right now, we got seven in the chambers. Come on in and hear this good discussion. This is truly a success story. When I think about, Brother Rideout, man, when I think about some of the cats that I grew up with, right? Again, we're from the same section of Philadelphia. And for those that don't know, considered at the time, the roughest part of Philadelphia.
Absolutely.
Economically very dilapidated and and many of the areas, the abandoned houses, the high crime activity in many of the areas. It was a large space, probably hundreds and hundreds of neighborhoods just within this section of the city. Certainly where Brother Rideout grew up, although it was in the same section, it was in a totally different neighborhood than where I grew up. And so for you, Brother Rideout, to go from, where you were born and raised, and then for your mom to kind of matriculate you out of that, you found yourself at the Great Cheney University. Tell me about your academic road. Like, tell us about your major. Tell us how your studies went, and tell us how you really knew what you wanted to do, or when you decided you knew what you wanted to do.
I tell you what, man. So moving out to the suburbs, and getting exposed to that life, hearing a different language, that was exposure number one. When I got exposed to that and going to the, suburban high school, I said, all right, the next step is college. And, and picking Cheney and being at Cheney, when I first arrived on the campus of Cheney University, man, I was paired up with the gentleman. And at that time he was a junior. So I'm coming in, fresh from the city, a freshman, and he was a junior. And he told me, and he happened to be from North Philadelphia too. Okay. So that's the beauty of being at an HBCU, small, where everybody knows everybody. And he kind of gave me the lay of the land. My whole tenure at Cheney, man, it was ups and downs, but then it really took off when I pursued the bruhs.
Okay.
When I pursued the bruhs, it was over. So, my first year at Cheney, rocky. I mean, bruh, I was failing all my classes.
Wow.
I just was out. It was party time. They say Cheney is a party institution, and that's what I was doing. Yeah. My first year, I was partying. I got my grades, man, they was D's and C's. I couldn't believe it. Wow. I said, this is not for me, Yeah. Maybe college is not for me.
Wow.
Again, I had to take that step back, man, and look and say, yo, if you want to be something in life, if you want to be successful, this is the path. This is where you need to go through. So
had you chosen your major at that point?
So I had not. Okay. Absolutely not. Okay. My first year, I hadn't chose my major. So 2 semesters down, year one's gone, right? I had not chose my major. My GPA was like, my cum was like a 2.1. I was on the verge of being on academic probation. Yeah. So the next semester rolls around. I say to myself, all right, let's start to get this going. So I had an intermediate algebra class. Okay. And I'll never forget this man. I'll never forget him. His name was Professor Klink. I'll never forget it. Man, he was my accounting professor. Okay. I walk into this accounting class and he's writing on the board, this and that. And the way he articulated the numbers to us, I gravitated to it. I was like, okay, not only do I get this and I like it and I understand it, but I said, you know how we do, Brother Booker. Let me go see let me chop it up with him, see what he all about. Yeah. So I went back and I talked to the professor and we sat down and we had a candid conversation. And to this day, I'll never forget it, man. I said to him, I said, you seem to be so intelligent. What? Yeah. Why are you here, a college professor? Yeah. And at that time, I was just ignorant. I didn't know how much money they made. Yeah. He said to me, he says, where do you know where you can make over $100,000, work 3 days a week, and had a summers off? I said, what? Yeah. I said, oh, that's me. I want to be you. Yeah. Well, I didn't turn out to be a professor, but from then, day one, that's from then. That's when I knew I wanted to be an accountant, man. And
So
it took off from there.
That's when it changed, man. So you decided that you wanted to be an accountant, and then what was your next step, and how did things change for you while you were in college?
My next step from there was actually one of my chapter brothers, right? Actually, it's crazy. Not only is my chapter brother, he's my ADP, right? Okay. He was in my accounting class, and he's 1 year ahead of me. Mm-hmm. Very articulate, very smart. And yeah. I'm telling you, man, I gravitated to him, right? And at this time, he wasn't.
Who was this?
Oh, this Andre Taylor. This is Dre.
Okay.
This is Andre Taylor. So I knew Andre from coming up. We grew up together. He's from North Philadelphia. Mm-hmm. We played basketball in the leagues all the time, you know. So I knew him, but I seen a different side of him because we didn't go to the same high school. Yeah. I was out in the suburbs. He still was in the city, you know. But then we kind of paired up at Cheney. And as we go through these accounting classes, I'm like, okay, all right, cool. All right, I see how this thing is done. And from there, man, I'll never forget the experience, the little tidbits that Cheney brought on. When my ADP, when he wanted to become the bruhs, right? You know, you got to have a certain GPA in order to pledge the bruhs, right? So I seen him one day, right? He was walking to the library. Now, library was a place I never went, you know? I figured I could study in my room. And this guy matriculated to the library. So one night I follow him to the library. I go in the library. I don't see him, but I know he went in there.
Yeah.
I don't see him. I go to the top floor of the library. I don't see him. I go all the way in the back of the library, and there he is, sitting at a table by himself. He has his shirt off, right? Has his shirt off. He has a drink on the floor. You know, I'm gonna keep it, you know. But he has a drink on the floor, right? I said, and here's the number one kicker. He has a picture in front of him as he's studying. You know what that picture was?
What was the picture?
That was a picture of his mom, man.
Oh, wow.
He had a picture of his mom in front of him.
Wow.
I looked at that. I said, what's that all about? He said, that's my number one inspiration right there.
Wow.
I said, now that was shell shocking to me because this is the dude from the hood. This is my man. Yeah. You know, we do stuff that we drinking, all that. We in college, and he in the library studying. I was like, that's not cool.
Look at the unifying things that were going on. You talked about how your mom was like your rock, right? You got your family took you to another place, encouraged you and inspired you, and now you got this gentleman that's later on going to have a certain type of another type of relationship with you.
Right.
His motivation was also, you know, that womanhood. I mean, let me tell you, man, that's those are the types of things that happen in life where it's like those are key moments. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Did you feel like that was a key moment for you?
You know, I felt that was definitely a key moment for me. I started to analyze this brother, although he was my friend, right? I started to really analyze him. And when I say analyze him, you know, we in school, man. Back in the day, drinking. I never smoked, but back in the day, we drinking, partying, all that.
Yeah.
But this guy, after analyzing him, this guy had a 3.7 GPA.
Oh, wow.
I was like, yo, how do you have a 3? I just seen you partying with them dudes wearing purple shirts. Right. How do you have a 3.7 GPA?
Right.
I said, this is what I do. Man, listen, those experiences, you know, you take life lessons and your whole life is really built up off of life lessons, all rolled up in one. You take a little bit from this person, a little bit from that person. And I'll tell you this, man, to get me through Cheney University, it was a plethora of things. It was the exposure. And then when I gravitated to the bruhs, and then when I actually, you know, went to one of the bruhs, expressed my interest, they, you know, these are my homies. They looked at me like, all right, nah, homie, you need to do this, you need to do that.
I definitely want to talk to you about that. We're going to take a quick little break as we thank you all for being with us. We got brother Lee Rideout, the immediate past district keeper of finance for the 2nd district. He's about to tell us about his experience coming to the great Omega Psi Phi Fraternity Incorporated. This is the Outer Chambers, man.
Outer Chambers.
For the brothers, by the brothers. Right now, we got 9 in the chambers. We need more. We need some more. Go ahead and pound that like button, pound on that shit button. Brother Rideout, man, listen, bro. I want to get into at some point how you and I came to know one another. Although we grew up in the same section of Philadelphia, I don't remember seeing you on the basketball court. I don't remember seeing you around. I mean, because again, North Philly is a large section of the city.
It is.
It's not a small area at all. So, I mean, I'm sure we probably were in the same places and spaces, but I don't necessarily remember connecting with you. So it really wasn't until we were in college when we got together. But before we get there, tell us about your chapter and how you came to the fraternity.
Yeah, man. I tell you, coming through Beta Gamma chapter, man, it was unreal, man. I've seen when I stepped on the campus of Cheney University in 95 and seen, those brothers, but seeing these guys walking around in purple shirts, gold boots. I was like, man, I'm not with none of that. I didn't even know about Greeks, but again, like I said, life has its twists and turns, and you take a little bit from that person, a little bit from that person. And, when I got there, man, it was this one gentleman, we call him Hollywood. His name is Derek Howe. It's Beta Gamma 92. I mean, this guy, man, he was the campus. He was that guy, and he played basketball, everybody liked him. You start to take little things from these people and you're like, all right, let me see what he all about. When I sat down and talked to him, man, and he's from Chester too.
Okay.
Rough place, right? It's like Chester, North Philly. The same, man. It's the same. So this guy from the hood too. I'm like, okay. Yeah. All right. So when I told him I was interested in Omega Psi Phi, man, he started to take a liking to me. And it just took off from there, man. It wasn't until I tried to actually express my interest to the bros in 97, 98. And it wasn't until 99 when they took me seriously. And the bros only took me seriously because I took myself seriously. Because like I said, when I first got there, my grades was crap. Yeah. Man, after I expressed my interest to the bros and they said, hey, this is what you need. This is how you need to carry yourself. Yeah. I was in the library every day studying. I made the dean list in 97 both semesters, 98 both semesters. Wow. By the time the brother said yes to me in 99, I had a 3.5 GPA.
So you totally turned it around after you had that epiphany moment in the library and after talking to Hollywood, dog, you totally turned it around.
Totally turned it around, man. Oh, man. Totally turned it around, man. These people are not only my fraternity brothers now, but they were influential in my life. These guys are a part of who Lee Rideout is today. Wow. I pay homage to those guys, man. That not only that they the bros, but man, they had so much to offer life, so many life lessons. And to this day, they my chapter bros, right? So I speak to Dre all the time. I speak to Hollywood still all the time. These are my chapter bros. And to this day, I still get life lessons from these guys, man.
Man, I want to get into those men that you lined up with. Let's talk about your LBs, man. Tell about the Great Spring 99 BG, legendary line, for sure.
Yes, sir.
Talk about your LBs, man, a little bit.
I tell you, man, I tell you what makes our line very legendary. And I know there has been gaps in other people's, other brothers, yards, chapters, all that. But BG Cheney, we was terrorizing the bros for a long time. 92, we don't have a 93, 94, 95. And then 96, 97, 98, we did not have any bros. Any bros.
Gotcha.
Right? And that 95 line of mine was causing havoc around the world. 96, 97, 98, and finally bring us to 99. And man, oh man, you talk about payback.
Yeah.
So that's what kind of makes us legendary, man. But my line brothers, they mean the world to me, man. God rest his soul, my ace, Quentin Harris, man, from Rochester, New York. Yeah. He passed away, man. But God bless him. My deuce, James Lee. You got me, my 4, and Darren Daniels going Pottstown. My 5, Marcus Swift.
Yeah.
My 6, Fritz Van Hees. He's from Haiti.
Yep.
My 7, Eltor Sumter. He services the Philadelphia area.
Yeah.
From a police perspective.
Yep.
And my 8, man, Joseph Griffin. My tail, he keeps us together to this day, man.
Yeah.
I know Brother Booker as much as I do. LBs, you fuss, you fight, you say I don't like you, this and that. But there's always that one that he's the glue that keeps y'all together. And that's my tail, man, Joseph Griffin.
You know what, team? I just want to share with everybody how I came to know the Great 99. And as I was sharing with my line brother, when he was on the show in episode 1, it was a mandate for us to come up to take that road trip to the Beta Gamma chapter. Especially for me being from Philadelphia, there was no way that I was going to avoid it.
Right.
When I finally made it up there in 99, your first LB that I met was Eltor. And I believe your Eltor is the 7 on your line. And, interesting because when I met him, of course, Eltor wasn't the tallest bruh in the world, right? So when he told me he was the 7, I was like, well, I'm the 6, right? I'm the tail on my line. I'm thinking you the 7. I'm like, certainly there's not 6 other brothers that are shorter than you. Because like I said, big bruh, he ain't say he do his. I mean, if y'all don't know about BG, they a workout type chapter. So all of them dudes like big old muscle bound bros, right? So he was stocky, short enough, but the bro was kind of short. So he said he was the 7. I was like, the 7? I was like, whoa, because I didn't know. Tell us about the tradition at BG, man.
Yeah, man. So BG, baby, we like GE, but we hold it down. BG, we line up. Tallest to shortest, baby. Tallest to shortest. Right. So my 7 dog, he's about 5'6",
Yeah, exactly. And the thing about it was, again, I didn't know. So when I finally, so Eltor was the first Brahmin. In fact, he had a Bronco. I remember him having a Bronco.
Yep, he did
in the city, and we drove up. We rode up together. Now, remember, I came up there with like nothing. I had no expectations of staying. When I got there, I was going to like stay the night or whatever. You know what I'm saying? I had no clothes. I had maybe a few dollars in my pocket, frat shirt, fatigues or whatever.
And you got that right.
And then I had to come through the 99 room, right? So I come.
You got that right.
And I met these bruhs, and they like, well, here go my ace right here. This bruh is like taller than me. I'm like, now I get it. I'm like, now I get it, man. So I met Memphis, and they was like, man, you gotta come to the room. I was like, all right, so I go to the room, and the whole line is in there, dog. I mean, the whole line is there. And man, we went through our little situation, and I was sharing with Popo the other day how your 4 had his back to me the whole night. He never ever turned around and looked at me. He just had his back to me. I was like,
that's P. Diddy, baby.
I'm like, what are we doing? Like, what's going on? What's about to happen? This dude kind of big. What is really happening here, man? But the thing that was so awesome to me, man, I went up there with the intentions of staying for a night. I wound up staying for my entire spring break, which was like a week. And you was like, dog, come with me. Man, you put me up in your room. I was bro, you gave me your meal card, bro. See,
yes, sir, dog.
I will never, ever forget that, bro. I will never forget that. This brother gave me his meal card.
That's what bros do.
Good, man. I had talked to the bros half the night, so I was okay. But yeah, man. So I wound up kicking it up Cheney University and just kind of, kicking it around the yard, waiting for bros to get out of class and just kind of hanging out, man. And from that week, I said, man, this is like a second home for me. And, and that's how I always felt whenever I come to BG, man. So
I tell you what, man. I tell you what, the part you leaving out, right, is that when you came up, right, and you came to the room, right?
Yeah.
You had on gold boots.
Oh yeah.
Frat shirt.
Oh yeah.
Fatigues. And we had never seen you before.
Yeah.
And the first thing you said is like, oh, okay, where you from? You gave your tag. It was like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Now, being at Cheney, we like, oh, Bethune-Cookman, where? Florida. Oh, whatever.
Yeah.
Where you from? You said Philly. We was like, Philly?
Yeah.
What do you mean you from Philly? I
Yeah.
ain't never seen you a day in my life.
Yeah.
And man, listen, that right there, the friendship bonded, man. I remember us talking all night long. You know how the bros do, busting up all night long, man. You stayed for a whole week. You know what I mean? We set it out. But I tell you what, at the end of that week, right? So you came to the 9-9 room and we was giving it to you. Yeah. And you was taking it.
Yeah.
At the end of that week, when the spring break was over and you was about to go back, this is what you said. You said, okay, I tell y'all what. Now, you know how HBCUs, that cycle of spring breaks, you know, some schools like back to back to back. So Correct. It was your spring break. You came and stayed a whole week. Then when you was about to go back, it was about to start our spring break. Correct. And you said to us, I'll never forget it. You said, well, if y'all good, y'all come down to Daytona. We was like, if we good, what? Oh, we out. Dog, we hopped in the car and we drove all the way to Florida. You hear me? Sir. Yo, we got to Florida. We seen you. We thought we was good. We was like, hey, what's up, Q? We just kicked it to you for a week. He was like, yeah, what's up, dog? What's up, dog? All right, well, listen, this is what we gonna do. We gonna go over here to the house where my LBs is at. We was like, okay, let's be out. But we had spent the whole week with you. We like, oh, we good. Man, we get to that house. We like, all right, where the set out at? Where the chicken at? Where the brew? We good. Let's get it. Bros was like, oh, we don't know you. Just because you know my LB, that don't mean nothing. Dog, we talked to your LBs, Pofo, Mike. We talked to them for hours.
Yeah.
After that, bro, it was just the same like when you came to Cheney. Yeah. After that talk, we stayed on your yard for a whole week. I'll never forget it. And that's how I met my Sands from OE.
Correct. I was going to say, man, Solomon, you know, he's the 8 Spring 99 OE. I was so happy. I was just happy to see you. First of all, y'all came. I mean, but y'all came. And then, you know, you guys were there during Black College Reunion.
Yeah, man.
That was interesting. That's a whole nother show. For the
right.
But that's a whole nother show. We ain't gonna be able to get there tonight. But, you know, I was just so glad to see the fellowship between, you know, you guys that were my true blue friends at that point, and to really be able to connect with my chapter. That was beautiful for me, man. And so, and again, we've been connected ever since.
Ever since
that time, man. So, you know, I could go on and on about your LBs. I mean, James, you know, that's my man. Me and him are very, very close. I mean,
man.
It's just an awesome thing in Omega Psi Phi when you have these experiences, and we'll talk about how, again, even to this day, 21 years later, we're still connected as friends and working hard in the fraternity, man. Hey, tell us about your roles in the fraternity. Tell us about undergraduate roles and responsibilities, and then let's talk about what you just finished doing as your role as the immediate past. Tell us about all of your roles starting from undergrad till now.
Yeah, man, I tell you what, you know, getting into our fraternity, you know, bringing my accounting mindset from there, I've actually in 21 years, for the past 21 years, you know, in some shape, form, or fashion, I've been working for the Psi Phi in finance. It started as an undergrad, man. As an undergrad, you know, James was our boss list and I was our keeper of finance. Yeah. You know, so it started from there. You know, again, the whole accounting thing, getting a degree in accounting, master's in accounting, this and that, but just matriculating. You know, from there, man, I matriculated. I'll never forget. I have another mentor. His name is Brother Donzel Tiller, New Psi. I'll never forget. He told us that after we graduated, we needed to matriculate into a graduate chapter, right?
Yeah.
And I did that. As soon as we graduated, matriculated to a graduate chapter, and I took my talents into that graduate chapter. I became that grad chapter KF and I sat there for 10 years.
Wow.
It wasn't like we didn't have people that couldn't do the job. It's just, they was like, you know, Rideout, you good, man. We don't need nobody else. So I sat there for 10 years.
KF in your
grad. A 10-year KF in my grad chapter. And I'm gonna tell you a quick funny story, 30 seconds. All right, 1 minute, right? There was a grad chapter about to be formed, and your Sans, Jay Hunt, called me, and he was about to be a part of this new graduate chapter. And he said to me, he says, bruh, in order for us to be up and running and for us to recognize as a grad chapter, it had like 16 or 17 people at the time that wanted to start this graduate chapter.
Yeah.
We need to be financial in the grad chapter. I said, all right, what's the problem? They said, well, you're a KF of Epsilon Pi chapter. We're gonna give you all our money. You pay our dues. We're gonna be financial with them so we can get this graduate chapter started.
Okay.
And that's what they did, man. And lo and behold, after they got that graduate chapter started, what you think they asked me? Hey, Rideout, we need you to be the KF for this chapter.
Wow.
I said, but bro, I'm already the KF for this chapter.
Yeah.
They said, what that got to do with anything? Bro, I end up being the graduate chapter. I mean, the graduate KF of 2 grad chapters at the same time.
So wait a minute, man. I know you're trusted, but man, you're handling the finances of 2 graduate chapters simultaneously.
Simultaneously, man. Simultaneously. And that was just the tip of the iceberg, because I started to matriculate into what we call district, business. So when I was a grad KF for both of those grad chapters, I had already climbed the ladder doing district work. I was the 2nd district fiscal management co-chairman. I was the 2nd district budget and finance co-chair. And then from there, I became the 2nd district assistant district keeper of finance. And when I was the 2nd district assistant district keeper of finance, I was running the finances for both of those grad chapters. So doing 3 things at once.
What year were you so you were 2-time simultaneously keeper of finance in grad chapters. You were also the assistant district keeper of finance. What year was that?
2016.
Wow. So after that, man, how did you get into your role as district KF? Tell us a little bit about that.
Man, the brothers here in the 2nd district, I love them for their support. They see my matriculation. They see my hard work. Again, 2nd district fiscal management co-chair, 2nd district budget and finance co-chair, then the assistant district keeper of finance. Bringing that all to the table, man. The brother said, I ran for DKF, and the brother said, yep, this I got. This I got. But more importantly, man, I tell you what, this the way I kind of lead my reports, man. When you know how the bros are. When you talking to the bros, I'm telling you, you only as good as your last report.
Right.
I tell you that right now when it comes to finance. You only as good as your last report. Because I tell you what, one slip up and the bros will try to burn you. You hear me? So you got to be sharp all the time, man. And with the prestige gentlemen, past DRs here in the 2nd district and things like that, I seen those guys come to the mic. I seen the questions they asked. What really started my drive to become the DKF is that when I looked at our financial reports, and no knock against the former DKFs that come before me,
right?
It's just that mindset of being an accountant. I had questions, and I would go to the mic and ask these questions. And I never forget, I heard somebody behind me say, "Why are you always asking the questions? If you know the answer, why don't you make a difference?"
Okay.
I said, "Say no more. Say no more."
Yeah.
So I ran for DKF, man, and I was awarded that position, man. Voted in by the brotherhood, and I sat there for 3 consecutive terms.
Gotcha.
Here in the 2nd district, normally the seats is normally like 2-year terms, right? You can run 3 terms, but normally like 2-year terms. It's very, very unique that you see somebody sit for 3 terms, especially in that finance seat.
I sat
there for 3 terms.
Yeah, I heard about that. That although the term limit can be 3 times, most brothers only sit for 2.
Only sit for 2.
Got you.
That is correct.
I want to get into what your aspirations are in the future, but before we do, man, can you cite a couple of brothers that have been influential to you as a graduate brother? I know your passion means the world to you, but talk to me a little bit about who are some of those brothers that have been influential to you as a graduate chapter brother.
Oh yeah, man. Not to put no one above anybody else, but this gentleman was just everything to me, man. He showed me how to and forget the bros. When I matriculated into Cheney, this gentleman showed me how to become a man, and his name is Donzel Tiller. He's Newside. he was at the time the dorm director in the dorm that I stayed in, man, and he was no nonsense type of guy, and you wouldn't know he was the bruh. He doesn't flaunt it, this and that. He not that type of guy. You know, you wouldn't even know he was the bruh. And once again,
hazed me up when I came up there that week, right?
Oh yeah, oh yeah. Oh yeah, Till will haze you up, baby. Till will haze you up, man. Till ain't for no nonsense.
You gotta see Tiller. You gotta see Mr. Tiller. I think y'all used to call him. I was like, all right, let's go. And bro, he asked me several questions. So
yeah, man. He ain't no nonsense type guy, man. He's been he was BG's advisor. He became BG advisor in 85. And he ran that from 85 to, I want to say, 2013, 14, somewhere around there.
Wow. Does he still work?
He does not. He does not.
Okay,
he does not.
Man,
Tiller's getting up there, man.
Yeah, that don't even seem right, man.
Yeah, that don't even seem right, man.
Because when it doesn't. Because when I was home in grad school, he was still around, and that was like 2003. And I remember him being still active, and because I remember when QDB was chartered, he was around. He was at the probate and all of that.
Correct.
Yeah, man.
He was influential in that. He was influential in bringing Temple back. Brother Tiller is still he's never not been active. He is active with EPI, so he's active with Epsilon Pi, man. I mean, he's one of the staples. You know, we have a brother here in the 2nd district. His name is brother Potts. He's another one. He's now just became in here in the 2nd district. We have corridors. Some district has states. We have corridors. So he is now corridor 3 rep, but he was the MSP chairman. So he's another one. He's from QD. He's from QD, Westchester University.
So
man, Westchester is about 2 stoplights from Cheney. I don't know if you knew that, but Westchester is real close.
That's where Sarita graduated from.
Oh yeah.
Westchester University, man. Believe they're the Rams.
2 stoplights.
Yeah, you know,
the Rams, and their colors are purple and gold.
Purple and gold, correct. Because you know what? I was at homecoming one year, and y'all were playing Westchester for the homecoming football game, and I was like, oh, they're playing school, man. Yeah, man. Listen, man, we are here with brother Lee Rideout, the immediate past district keeper of finance. You are with us in the outer chambers. I usually do this, Lee. I usually talk a little bit of Black history. This week in Black history, today is June 17, 2020. But this week in Black history, I just want to throw out a fact. Black man James Weldon Johnson, the great writer and poet, was the first Black admitted to the Florida bar. He also was the co-author of Lift Every Voice and Sing, the Black National Anthem. He was born in 1871 and died in 1938. That's James Weldon Johnson. I believe he's a member of Phi Beta Sigma fraternity, Incorporated. But on June 17th, he was admitted to the Florida bar. I did not know he was a lawyer, actually. That's pretty cool. Get back to our brother Lee Rideout. So Lee, man, look, you know, it's weird because even though I'm from Philly, it was always me really learning about the dynamics in the 2nd D because I wasn't made in the 2nd. So I, of course, would come home for holidays or vacations or whatever and hang out with the bros. But y'all do some different things, man. Talk a little bit, man, if you would, about the Bloody Triangle. Tell
man.
Bloody Triangle.
Yes, sir, baby. Hey, the Bloody Triangle is Cheney University, right? Lincoln University, and Morgan University. Now, depending on who you talk to, you know they're gonna put themselves at the top of the triangle. But I don't know how you can switch it around when Cheney's the first. So we definitely at the top of the triangle. Man, but you know that Bloody Triangle, man. You know, in our fraternity, you'll hear a lot of brothers say that they bloody this, they that, and brothers will ask, you know, brothers from BG, What makes y'all so bloody? And why y'all call yourselves the Bloody Triangle? And it's ironic. You just threw out there a Black history fact, and I'm going to throw another one back at you.
Okay.
You know, Cheney, so Lincoln University is about 30 minutes from Cheney. It's located in Oxford, PA.
Right.
And everybody knows that, you know, Morgan is down in Baltimore. But when you look at it from a geographical standpoint, and you look at how the schools are laid out and how you can get there, right? The Underground Railroad that Harriet and Tubman traveled runs through all three of those schools.
Wow.
It goes up, you know, so you got Cheney, it goes up to Oxford, PA, and as it comes back down and goes out through Baltimore.
Yeah.
So it hits all three schools. So that's why we call ourselves, you know, the Bloody Triangle, because as you know, Harriet Tubman and Underground Railroad and all those slaves that shed blood, you know, during that time, you know, on that Underground Railroad, and to be a part of that, there's a building. I just was there not too long ago. There was when I was on campus. Every homecoming, May weekend, you know, the brothers will go back in front of this building and kind of pay homage. There's a building on Cheney's campus called Vaux Hall, and underneath Vaux Hall is where the Underground Railroad ran. I know that to be, you know, so BG was founded December 5th, 1950, and we still have one charter member left. And when you hear his stories, he tells you about the Underground Railroad. Another thing that makes BG so prominent, man, is, and here's another couple more Black history facts. One of our founders, Dr. Arthur Bagley. Arthur Bagley, not only was he one of the founders for Beta Gamma chapter, he was one of the founders for LG, Elizabeth City State College too.
Okay.
So we have that link, LG and BG. We have that link, right? And Brother Bagley's wife, her sister was Coretta Scott King.
Wow.
That's amazing, man. So, you know, Brother Bagley, when I came into our organization in '99, Brother Bagley still was living. He lived down the street on Cheney Road. And for every line, we would always go and visit Brother Bagley while we were online.
Wow.
You got to see him, you got to talk to him. We would go down the street, we would bring him to homecoming. I mean, this man, it was amazing, man. Amazing to hear Brother Bagley talk. Amazing to see his wife, because his wife, you know, is the sister of Coretta Scott King. So it was amazing, bro.
Man, I can literally talk to you for like another hour, man. But I don't want to hold all of our viewers and listeners that long, man. But I mean, this is just amazing. And again, you and I are friends, man. It's always we got 14 in the chamber right now. I need everybody in the chamber to go ahead and pound on that share button and pound on that like button. Let people know about the outer chambers, man. This is some excellent information that's going out, man. We got Brother Lee Rideout, the immediate past 2nd District Keeper of Finance. I'm your host, Brother Quentin A. Brooker, Esquire, man. We're talking about friendship full circle. Brother Rideout, you have some current aspirations.
Yes, sir.
Talk to us about what you got cooking, man. Talk to us about what you got going on.
Hey, man, if you look behind me, man, you know, I duck my head a little bit. You look behind me. So, you know, my next step in Omega, man, my aspiration is to become, you know, the fraternity's next Grand Keeper of Finance. And I tell you what, man, I don't take that lightly. You know, you just don't wake up one morning and say, I want to be the Grand KF. That's not how that works, man. That's not how that works. You have to put in, you know, that time. Yeah, you have to show the brotherhood that you're well versed in that arena. You know, a little bit more about me in depth, man. You know, as my accounting career has grown, you know, I've been everything. When I first graduated, my very first job out of school was a staff accountant at a bank doing general ledger reconciliations.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And I was doing that, but still always active in the fraternity, you know, being the KF of a grad chapter. And then as I matriculated, you know, in my professional career, come up, you know, walking it through, right? I became a business analyst. I've been a cost accountant. I've been an assistant controller, an accounting manager, and now a director of finance / controller. So again, you just don't wake up one day and be the controller of a company and handle all of their money and their assets, right? That takes time, you know, but the beauty of it is that throughout my whole professional career, Omega has come with me. Every step of the way, every new promotion that I've taken on,
Yeah.
Omega has come with me. You
Yeah.
know, I've taken step by step, you know, from being a cost accountant, a general ledger reconciliator, you know, things like that. What was I? I was a KF of a grad chapter, you know,
So
matriculated up to the district level, you
you have
know, co-chair fiscal management, things like that.
you have taken the long road to where you are today, um, and certainly to be running for the position of Grand Keeper of Finance, which is our chief, really our chief financial officer, for lack of
It
a
is.
term, and you know, the mightiest fraternity in the world. I commend you. And again, when you talk about friendship full circle, you know, when we met, you described the scene. I mean, we just some undergraduate brothers in college. You know, I got on
In
a pair
college.
of fatigues and a sweatshirt and some boots. And you know, and to see you where you are today, man, it is awesome. I mean, it really is. And I remember when I found out that you had won as district keeper of finance, I was like, that's perfect. I'm like, of course, because I've seen you. You know, I didn't know all of the roads and bumps, and I didn't know the entire path, but man, it just made so much sense. Knowing who you are and knowing your reputation amongst the bros. And then when I heard about this move, I was just really, really excited for you. And, you know, it's no secret, you know, your opponent is my pro fight. You know,
Oh,
Brother
yeah.
John, Spring 85OE. And we had a show. He talked a lot about you. He expressed his love and friendship with you. So like I said, man, no matter who wins, and the election brothers, if you have not registered for the virtual conclave, it's next month.
Let's go.
And I believe the registration is closing soon. I believe in a couple weeks. So if you haven't registered, man, get registered for the conclave, man. Be in support of what we have going on. But you know, what I said in our previous show, Lee, is this. Whatever happens, the fraternity is in a great situation financially. Because, man, I couldn't think of two brothers that are better suited for the position. But you know, that's just me. I want to hear a little bit about your plan. Tell us about your plan. Do you have any action steps or things that you want to accomplish if you are to win on next month in a few weeks? What are your steps, man? What are your steps?
Yeah, man. Let me start out by saying this. I mean, you brought up a very prominent point, man. I mean, the fraternity has two candidates and myself and brother Johnny Smith. And let me tell you a little bit about Johnny, man. Johnny, that's my guy. You know, Johnny, I know Johnny's your pro fight. That's my man, man. You
Yeah.
know, I've known Johnny, you know, since our days back being DKFs, right?
Okay.
And people say, that wasn't too long ago. But you know how you meet somebody for the first time and it's all about numbers. And
Yeah.
you like, wow, he shares that same drive, zeal, aspiration that I have. That was Johnny, man. We took a liking to each other from day one. I mean, man, Johnny's my friend. He's my friend before this race. He's my friend through this race. He's going to be my friend after this race. I love Johnny, man. I love everything about him, man. His drive, his push, his understanding of the numbers. We feed off of each other, man.
Yeah.
You know, and although we're running, you know, I'm not running, and you might have heard him say this too. I'm not running against Johnny Smith. I'm running for the position of Grand Keeper of Finance.
That's awesome.
You know, and that's my friend, man. You know, some of the things that I would like to bring to the table, if
Yeah.
elected, you know, I want to come in, and you have to understand the dynamics of our fraternity. You know, I truly believe in order to run a business, you have to know how a business is ran.
Yeah.
You know, so right now, one of my current positions is in the fraternity is I'm the current International Fiscal Management Committee vice chair.
Okay.
So what's and his brother's like, so what is that? What does that really entail, right? So the Fiscal Management Committee is actually the internal auditors of the fraternity.
Okay.
You know, we go down to IHQ every quarter, every 3 months. We take a look at, you know, fiscal policy, making sure it's being followed, you know, with the direction of our current Grand Keeper of Finance, Brother Dan Jones.
Yeah.
You know, we make sure that the credit card usage is being, you know, utilized as it should be, and there's
Yeah.
no improprieties there. We're looking at all of that, man.
Yeah.
So we go over all that stuff. that has exposed me to the inner workings of our fraternity, you know, from a fiscal standpoint. So I get it. I understand it, you know. So I'm looking to bring just little tidbits and spins to it, you know, to enhance our financial position.
Man, that is awesome, man. And you know, as a friend, it's impressive, and I'm excited for you. And I know, again, I know the fraternity is going to be in a great position from a financial standpoint with this particular election. Bruh, man, tell us where we can find your election headquarters, man. What is your website? Do you have what? Tell us what you got.
Hey, man, the bros can find me at www.rideout4gkf.com. That's my website there. You can go there. I also have a IG page. It's team_rideout 2020. That's my IG page, man. So brothers can find me there. You know, look me up. Hey, brothers, if you want to donate to my campaign for this election for Grand KF, also on my website, there's a donate button. You know, I'll be very gracious of any donations that I get from the brothers, man. It's been a long, hard road. Over 2 years, you know, been taking this uphill battle to tell the brothers why I should be the next Grand Keeper of Finance.
Well, for sure, we are almost there, Brother Rideout. Hey, man, I told you this when we talked earlier in the week. I really appreciate you giving up your time, man. I know you're on that campaign trail.
Yes,
you also have a beautiful family, beautiful wife and children, and you got other things to do. But like you said, whatever you do, you bring Omega Psi Phi with you. And I appreciate you, man. Thank you for being on the show. Brother Rideout, this is the time that we do our shout-outs to whoever we want to give our shout-outs to. I'm gonna let you go first, Brother Rideout, man. You were three, so I'm gonna let you go before me, man. You got any shout-outs for any
Hey, man. First, let me give a shout out again to Johnny Smith, man. He continues to push me. That's my guy. So, you know, kudos to Johnny, man. I want to give a shout out to my LBs, man. They support me like no other. My LBs are behind me 110% as I go on this run, man. I give a shout out to my family, you know, all my friends. Most importantly, you know, the God, man, who keeps me upright, man. Hey, man. And I got to give a shout out, you know, to your LB, you know, my man, our second district representative, number 37, Brother Kelvin Ampofo, man. He's a hard worker, man. Me and that guy sat at the table together, man. And bros, you know, they thought that, you know, that was our first time seeing each other, but it wasn't. You know, they just didn't understand the history that we have. So, you know, big kudos to Brother Ampofo. He's doing great things and will do great things for our second district.
Shout out to the Spring 99 line of the Mighty Beta Gamma chapter. Shout out to the Four Horsemen of Faith of the Mighty Omicron Epsilon chapter. And shout out to all the brothers, man. Thank y'all for joining us.
Shout out.
Again, man, pound on that like button and share button. Tell a friend about the Outer Chambers. We went over a little bit, Brother Rideout, but you know what? It's all good, man, because like I said,
that's what happened when we get together and we having fun, man. We don't look at the time, man. Bros don't look at the time.
I know we can do this for another hour or so, but man, we just gonna end it right there, man. Shout out to all of the people that's been supportive of the show. The Mighty Ninth District, thank you for all of your support. Right now, man, this is a great episode 3. This was Friendship Full Circle, and certainly this is a full circle of events that have occurred. Brother Rideout, man, get up out of here, man.
Hey, Brother Booker, I appreciate you, man. Last comment I want to make, man, is listen, and it's about your campaign, my brother. You know, to become the 9th district, 1st district representative. Man, shout out to you, bruh. Shout out.
I appreciate that, man. This episode was sponsored by friendsforqbforvice.com, man. Thanks for reminding me, because I definitely forgot, man. Friendsforqbforvice.com next year in Dallas, Texas, 2021, man. But it's all about this grand conclave race right now.
Yes, sir.
Brothers, get engaged. Fulfill your obligations to the fraternity, man. Brother Rideout, Brother Brooker, the Outer Chambers, we out of here, man. Y'all have a good night.
Y'all have a good night, man. Root to the bruh.